Okay, hello there everybody, Omega's here again, and we are going to play some more Dark Cloud. When we last left off, we were a couple of floors into the Divine Beast Cave, trying to find our dear guardian spirit, Dran. And today, we're going to keep doing that. So, before I really get started, I kind of need to say that there is a lot of lag in the sound of the gameplay for this batch. This is not my first audio recording. I'm actually recording this after I played what's going on because I didn't like the audio, so I'm doing it over again. But yeah, I did have some sound lag, and I tried to get rid of it as best that I could, but it never budged. I could never fix it. So unfortunately, I'm afraid for now you're just gonna have to deal with it. Um, I guess the sound is typically a little low, so it might not annoy you guys that bad. But I thought that it was at least worth mentioning that that would be happening. I show off my inventory here in a second, as I did some dungeon crawling off screen, and I did very much intend to show that off to you. First up here is the weapons. I found a Shamshir, which is a tier 2 weapon, actually, as compared to the base lard, which is tier 1. And as you can see, the base lard pales in comparison in every single stat except for whip. So and it also builds up to the same weapon that I want. The base lard actually builds up to the Shamshir. So yeah, I'm going to be using that for a little while. I also have a chopper over on the right. That's another sword that I'll probably status break. But as far as my weapons go, I'm going to be going for the weapon. I'm sure everybody who's ever played Dark Cloud knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to be going for that weapon. But if I screw something up and I don't get it, then I'm just going to go with whatever ultimate weapon that I end up with. I'm not gonna change. So here's my inventory. It's jam-packed with items that I cannot use because I can't sell them yet because I didn't finish Gaffer's Buggy. So I'm just kind of stuck with them. And as you can see, I found another premium chicken. So I have 2 of the best healing items in the game, and we're still very early in the first dungeon. So I'm probably just gonna wind up saving those for the end of the game, or not the end of the game, but a couple of dungeons later, and really until you start needing them, because they're really helpful when you get into the harder enemies. But anyways, so there isn't really much gameplay mechanics left. I got about 90% of them done. And I know that I've said that there was no more explanations for, like the past 6 videos, and this is like part 8. So, but I'm 90% done with them, and the rest I really can't talk about right now because they're not pertinent yet. And Endurance plus 3, it's very good, or not very good attachment. But for now, seeing as how I can't get any other attachments, that's good. But I'll talk about the rest of the gameplay mechanics when they become pertinent. But I do have some. I do want to talk a little bit about exactly how this LP is going to work. Namely, as you can see there, I got hit and I hit him at the same time. It's a stalemate, except I won. So it's not really much of a stalemate then, is it? Crap. But anyways, we just got my house. It's nice to know that the Atla are named by perspective. But if I can get to my train of thought, as far as the voices or the voice cutscenes go, obviously not everything is going to be voiced. Before I started this game, I claimed that it was 90% going to be just me, and that is true. But I do enjoy the voice cutscenes, but obviously I cannot voice them all. So exactly how that's going to work is what decides whether or not a cutscene is going to be voiced or not is going to be A, if the cutscene has to be mildly important at the slightest, which most of them typically are, but there are some that I question, and those are, like instantly knocked out. And I also have to be able to find somebody to do the voice, obviously, preferably in a relatively short time. I do have a lot of people picked out that are just waiting for me to get to their part before they can jump in as a character. But there are still some characters that I'm on the fence about, that I'm really not sure if I'm going to be able to find somebody to do them or not. And if I do, then they'll get voiced. And if I don't, then they won't. And you'll just have to listen to me improv the cutscenes, which, as you guys all know, my improving is not the best. But I do what I can. But besides that, as far as all this dungeon crawling goes, because as you can tell, there's a lot of dungeon crawling in this game. As far as that goes, I'm not going to kill every enemy on a floor on screen. I do it on this floor because conveniently the last enemy that I get to is the one that has the crest. So, there's nothing really I can do about that. But typically, I'm not going to fight every enemy. I will find all of the Atla, and I will find the gate key, and then I will leave. But I want to know if you guys think that that's best, because as you'll see in a couple of videos later on, it ends up with me doing a lot of running past enemies, and I'm just kind of like running around and picking up the Atla and then leaving. And it's not exactly the most entertaining thing either, but then again, neither is sitting around and watching me kill the same enemies over and over again. So I was kind of hoping to get you guys' opinions on that, but besides that, I think everything has pretty much been said. So once we leave, I do some more of the diorama, which it was voted that I would be doing all of the diorama as I made stops into town instead of doing it in one big burst. But it doesn't look very pretty. My artistic skill leaves a little something to be desired. I'm no Ray. I'm not exactly the most artistic kind of guy, but I'll do what I can, and I'll probably try to make it pretty off camera. The village, I mean. But more on that in a second, because right now everything is still pretty blank. So it's not really too much that's going on here. As you can see, I put some rivers and some roads and stuff down. We have my house, and I take a little while trying to choose where to put it. Typically, I throw it like right there where I have it now, but obviously I put the river there, so it's kind of a little difficult. So I just kind of throw it in the middle. And I'll probably change that later, because I do move that river later on. Toan's house is a little special. As you can see, it has not necessarily 2 floors, but it has 2 entrances that go to different places. And we already have the keg, so the beer keg goes in our house because Toan is such a party animal. Renee is our mother. She goes in our house as well, as you might imagine, because all RPG characters have to live with their mother or not have parents. Toan, you alright? Oh good, don't worry me anymore, please. Hello, how should I rebut Renee? Let's see, it'd be lovely if the morning sun would come in from the upstairs window and wake me up. Okay, tell me how to rebuild your house. It's your own house, Toan. Our house had a chimney, and it had a storage room. Don't you remember what your own house was like? Yes, Mother, I do, but the game forces me to ask you before I can put those things in. So therefore I must. So, the game kind of makes you get scolded by your mother. The game enforces parenting of the questionable variety. I demand better game. I demand better ethics from you, game. And that's about all that we can do there. I already talked about Gaffer's Buggy. Not that I found the supplies to finish it, but I did talk about it. The small windmills do not matter. You can throw them wherever they are. They're just kind of there for completion. I go ahead and finish one. They're just kind of there for completion purposes. You're going to be getting a couple, but they don't really do anything important, so I wouldn't really worry. And I don't do anything with the bridges yet. You place those over the river so you can walk, but you know, I'll leave them alone for now. So that is pretty much it for this video. So I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.